Good morning, it's Lynn from the Learn English Network here, bringing you another week of live chat conversations. So pin your ears back and let's see what people have been saying on live chat. Gopal Ganmoda said, "Hi, I want to learn speak English." Okay, Gopal, it's hi, capital H, I, capital I, want to learn to speak English with a capital E and a full stop. I wrote, "Hi Gopal, have you tried any of our tips?" I sound like a broken record, don't I? And then we come to the end of the week. "Hi everyone," I wrote. "Today's live chat ran out of time again. So well done. I'll try to do a second one and post it correctly in the week," which, believe it or not, I did do, but we ran out of time again. "These live chats," said Seb, "are great. I love them very much." Oops, sorry, Seb. My mistakes sound indigest. I'm not sure what you mean by indigest. You've got indigestion when you hear the mistakes, but these audio corrections seem to be the best medicine for me. Okay, my mistakes are like indigestion, but these audio corrections seem to be the best medicine for me. Simply the best. Thank you for doing it. Simply the best, better than all the rest. Musical interlude there, sorry. Science said, "I'm waiting my turn to get the medicines, or we can call them the vaccines. It seems the waiting line is too long, isn't it?" Oh, sorry, Science. So you could say here, "I'm waiting for my turn to get my medicine," or could we call it vaccine? It seems the waiting line is too long, isn't it? Sorry about that. "Hi Science," I replied. "Oh, I hope my corrections aren't as painful as vaccines. I know the waiting time seems long, but the motto of Learn English is we do what we can when we can." Science then said, "Oh, painful for sensitive persons, but for me, don't worry about that." Okay, avoid persons unless you're talking about person or persons unknown carried out a crime or legal English. You can say, "Oh, painful for sensitive people, but not for me. Don't worry about me." Then they gave us the immunology against contagious diseases, and Zeb agree with me. Do you agree, Zeb? So they immunised us against contagious diseases, and Zeb agrees with me. Do you agree, Zeb? "I like them very much, and we didn't get them as soon as possible. The contagious diseases will diffuse. Take care of us, teacher, doctor, or you will be contaminated." I don't think so. Been doing this for a long time. I've not been contaminated yet. I think you mean "I like them very much." By "I like them very much," I think you mean the corrections. So I like the corrections very much. And if we don't get them quickly, the contagious diseases will diffuse, will disappear, I think. "Take care of us, teacher, doctor, or you will be contaminated." Zeb replied, "I'm afraid I am a sensitive person, Science. These live chat broadcasts are great to keep doctors away from me. I'm not a big fan of doctors either." Science wrote, "I found very good volunteer to carry on your experiment, doctor, about the aversion therapy. Don't forget to cite me when you publish the results." There will be no publishing, honestly. This is about as publishy as I get. So, Sans, I think you meant I found a very good volunteer to carry on your experiment, doctor, regarding the aversion therapy. Don't forget to cite me when you publish your results. I replied, "Maybe for you, Zeb, it should be a live chat a day keeps the teacher at bay." And Zeb went, "It does for sure. Well, I keep in mind that there is a teacher backstage, though. You are a teacher, aren't you?" That's a good question. Am I a teacher anymore, or am I a facilitator of language, international language consultant? I do try to be not too teachery, to be honest. But at the end of the day, yeah, we're all teachers here, really. And then we had a very bright and breezy "Hello, very how are you?" from Ane Rami. Ane, hello is capital HELLO. How are you? Capital H, are you? Question mark. You can't really say a very how are you. You can maybe say "I wish you a very happy birthday" or "a very happy Christmas," but not a very how are you. Nice idea, but It sounds a bit odd. So Amatsu went, "Hi, Ane, I'm very well. How are you?" And I replied, "Hi, Ane, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?" Never to be heard from again. We obviously scared you off, Ane. Mohammed then said, "Hi, teacher. Where are your tips for improving English?" And, oh, right. Okay, so Mohammed, hi with a capital H. So you say, "Hi, teacher," and then a comma. And then it's a new sort of sentence. It's a question. So the W on where should be capitalised. Where are your tips for improving English, and English proper noun capitalised? Okay. And I replied, "Hi, Mohammed, on the website here." And that's on the learnenglish.de website, and on the magazine, and that's the English magazine from the network. The reason that they are spread out is that sometimes the sites get a lot of traffic, sometimes it's a DOS attack, and that can slow things right down. It's the nature of the net, and DOS attack is a denial of service attack. Now, I did actually look into it, Mohammed, and yes, there was a glitch, too many people trying to access the network at once. But since then it's calmed down, so you should be able to get hold of the tips, okay? And Amatsu said, hi Mohammed, here's a link to get you started. And she pointed you to the vocabulary pages. And as she said, but the best way to improve is just do it. The JDI methodology adopted by the Learn English Network. Okay, Zeb wrote about, yeah, I'm a bit confused here, about Offansdyke and Pembrokeshire in the UK. I think that's from a previous chat, so we'll leave that. I still haven't written the article for Offansdyke, but I will do. I'll write it down on yet another piece of paper on my desk, Zeb. And Zeb then went on to talk to Alwind, and she says, "I was taught that the danger of electrical shocks is no laughing matter. So, Alwind, can you do something about it? This, that versus than defect." Haha, okay, I've got you. Yes, a couple of weeks back I was electroshocking myself every time Alwind used than instead of that, and vice versa. Even if I had a good laugh listening to Lynn inflicting herself electric shocks on your behalf. Ha! Charming! So there you'd say, even if I did have a good laugh listening to Lynn inflicting electric shocks on herself on your behalf. I replied, I always wondered if aversion therapy would work on language learners. With remote technology, we could put it into practice. Any volunteers? And Zeb said, quite sensibly, no thank you very much. I do not volunteer for aversion therapy. Never. Science said, self-practicing may be a good idea. If you learn Germans, what do you think? Okay. Practicing on yourself may be a good idea. If you're learning German, what do you think? By the way, if you need volunteers who are English learners, the live chat is full of them. You have many choices. Yeah, but I haven't got many volunteers, I'll tell you what, Science. So you have a lot of choice. And then I wrote, sometimes I think a little electric shock when I make the same mistake again and again might not be a bad idea. And then I realised my friends would miss my mistakes. They keep them amused. And Zeb then said, so you are an entertainer. And Science said, really interesting. But you have not to miss my mistakes. I enjoy to be corrected once again for the same mistake. Lazy student. That's helped me to not forget it forever. For Eve. Okay, so really is one R, really interesting. But you mustn't miss my mistakes. Or you shouldn't miss my mistakes. I enjoy being corrected once again for the same mistake, lazy student. It helps me to never forget it. Okay, you can't not forget it forever, but you can try to never forget it, okay? Zeb replied to Science, Science, you seem to be living a never-ending story. Personally, I would prefer to finish a story to be able to start a new one. And Science said, it's very easy to end a story, Zeb. Just ignore our comments and the story will be killed in its beginning. Good idea, and I am sure it will be efficient, won't it? So, Science, it's very easy to end a story, Zeb. Just ignore the comment and the story will be killed from its beginning. Good idea, and I'm sure it will be efficient. Very good. I'm not so sure, said Zeb. My idea is to make the most of feedback and comments I receive before I get into the next story. Otherwise, there may be a risk that I'll not be able to grasp and enjoy the next one. Good point. Science then said, keep answering my comments in one story, even if it's boring, to be able to find our names in the Guinness Book of World Records. The longest conversation on live chat. I'm not sure if it will be recorded and corrected, but let's try it. Good luck for each one who want to join us. Okay, so your keep should be capitalised, Science. It's the beginning of the sentence. And then, rather than to be able to find our names, we might be able to find our names in the Guinness Book of World Records, and that would be capitalised because the Guinness Book of World Records is an organisation. It's and Guinness is a company, so capitalised. I'm not sure if it will be recorded and corrected, but let's try it. Actually, Science, I'm pretty sure what will happen to it. They kind of sink. Okay, they sink down off the radar. But hey, if you want to carry on a conversation, please do. Don't think I've got to be part of it. Conversation, people come in, they drop out. But the corrections, I think, and otherwise I'd just be doing one very, very long correction. And I don't want to get into the Guinness Book of World Records. Thank you very much. And Zeb didn't sound very certain either. The longest conversation on live chat. The problem is we may have some problems to dig it out after some time. The conversation will be lost in limbo, somewhere in between oldest and newest conversations. A long conversation like this already exists, and it's not so easy to follow it up. Yeah, it is the downside of live chat, or the upside of live chat. Yeah, it's constantly flowing. Science said, so what do you suggest? You can start a new story. We are here to keep it going ahead. And Zeb then replied, isn't what live chat conversationalists have been doing here since live chat came to life? Oh, okay, isn't it what live chat conversationalists have been doing here since live chat came to life? Conversationalist, what a word. It's probably over the top for our live chat small talk. I don't know, you're very good conversationalists. Science said, your French background appears clearly here. Congratulations. Okay, so your should be capitalised, French should be capitalised, and appears clearly here is showing, I would say. Your French background is showing. Congratulations. Okay, and we always say congratulations. Don't believe me? Listen to Cliff Richard. Congratulations and celebrations. Oh, that's an old song. And then Zeb said, lol, you're talking in riddles. I think Science likes riddles. And then Zeb wrote about the Offansdyke, Pembrokeshire way and said, oops, sorry for the confusion. I walked a small part of Offansdyke from Abergavenny to Kington. Then I took a couple of buses to go to Swansea, where I started a totally different walk along the Pembrokeshire coast to Fishguard. I loved both walks, and the weather was awesome. And then she said, Amatsu Scribbler and Alwind are right. The weather can be lovely in the UK. Looking forward to reading about Offansdyke in the LEN magazine. Really good post, well done. And I have to say, I wanted to open up a tea shop in that area at the end of Offansdyke, still in England, but just on the border of Wales. Didn't happen. I ended up in Germany. Can't run a tea shop in Germany. And then Zeb did a bit of promotion for the live chat broadcast. Thanks, Zeb. I'm actually very bad at self-promotion. So she wrote, I'm quite amazed this live chat was recorded yesterday morning, Tuesday 19th November, by 9:30am, and today, Wednesday 5:30am, it has been listened to 137 times. You have quite an audience, Lynn. Guys, we are going to become good at English, developing our conversational and listening skills, and eventually technical skills. Technical skills include grammar, the correct usage of tense, and sentence construction for me. Okay, I thought you meant we were going to all turn into techies, Seb. A round of applause for Lynn. Oh gosh, no, my head's going to... Oh, I'm blushing now. Okay, so, round of applause. There you go, for you guys. I wouldn't have anything to record if you weren't such great conversationalists. I replied, well, thanks, Zeb, I hadn't noticed. I'll be honest, I don't look at sort of the numbers of how often things are watched or listened to or read. It's there. If people find it, that's all good. And Zeb went, and a round of applause for us too. Quite right. Oana jumped in and said it was very nice and very useful to hear Lynn talking about our discussions. After a day of work, she managed to bring me a smile, a huge smile. What we'd say there, Oana, is she brought a smile to my face. Okay, we often say that, yeah? It brought a smile to my face. Thanks, Lynn, and thanks to you all. I will do the best to correct my mistakes, I promise. I wish you all a great day. And I have to say, Oana, that's really great spacing after your punctuation. Really good. And it makes your writing a lot easier to understand, and it means you're less likely to end up in the spam folder. I found a post today in the spam folder. It was over 20 days old in the lessons, and the reason was they had put full stops and then no space, and so the software, stupid software, but the software thought they were all HTML addresses, and it was about 10 of them, and so it thought, oh, spam, because that's what spammers do. And the poor guy from Myanmar was waiting for my correction, must have thought I was ignoring him. So if you're listening, I've done the correction now. I found it in spam. Zeb then said, it makes me very happy that I'm not the only one to enjoy them. Hey, you're not the only one to enjoy them, Zeb. I enjoy them too. Oana then said, I'm here, Zeb, to keep you all company. If there is someone who don't enjoy, that is only because it has not yet discovered the wonderful part of this site. Okay, if there is anyone who doesn't enjoy it, it's only because they have not yet discovered this wonderful part of the site. Okay? And I replied, well, different strokes for different folks. We all learn and have fun in different ways. Science then said, we wrote the comments in the live chat, and we know that our bad English will be corrected by a native English teacher. How lucky we are. Thank you, teacher, for your efforts. We really appreciate. Okay, we wrote the comments in live chat, and we knew that our English would be corrected by a native speaking English teacher. And then you could say, thank you, teacher, for your efforts. We really appreciate them. Okay, or we really appreciate it. We really appreciate your effort. I'm glad you appreciate it. Yeah, it's not too much effort, to be honest. I'm sure if other English teachers would start doing this kind of thing, they'd find out how easy it is. But I always say, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So if your English teacher isn't doing this, ask them why not. Okay. Zeb then went, bad English, bad English. I do hope you speak for yourself, Science 24. If I am learning English, it can never be bad. It can just be in progress. Quite right, Zeb. If you're learning English, there's no such thing as bad English. Science then went, really sensitive person once more. We have a very bad English, and we have to admit that. Oh, Science, you don't. You want to see some of the stuff I get. LOL. In fact, I'm not satisfied about it until I will speak it as Lynn do. Okay, so, you're being sensitive again. She's not. You need to come and speak to Zeb. Okay, our English isn't very good, and we have to admit that. LOL. In fact, I won't be satisfied with it until I can speak it as Lynn does. And Lynn with a capital L, it's my name, okay? And again, I still disagree with you, Science. I think your English is great. I've been watching you on the forum and reading your posts, and okay, maybe it's not perfect, but there's no such thing as perfection. We all make mistakes. Listen to this recording and you'll hear that I make mistakes and I have to go back and correct myself. Yeah, that's all it's about. It's about improving rather than becoming perfect. And then Zeb asked Science, what's next when you speak like Lynn? So maybe, what's next after you can speak like Lynn? And Science went, you know, now reason to explain. I will be very satisfied with my English, and then I can teach you if you don't mind. now reason to, do you mean no reason to explain? You know, no reason to explain. And then, but actually, we are still in progress. You are works in progress. And, but actually, comma, no space before the comma. There's always a space after punctuation, but not one before. We are still works in progress. I hope that you will wait me until I reach your level. I know, don't be modest. You speak it better than I do. You spotted that, did you, Science? Yeah. Zeb's been at this longer than you. Zeb, how long has it been? Ooh, a long time. So, I'll hope you'll wait for me until I reach your level. I know, don't be modest. You speak it better than I do. Very good. And Zeb said, I keep my own pace. Catch up with me if you can. There's a challenge. Science went, I'm coming with maximum speed. My Bugatti Veyron is too fast. Stay on the sidewalk, away of the route, and pay attention to not crush you there. A crazy driver with a nervous car. Lol. Okay. I'm coming at maximum speed. My Bugatti Veyron is too fast. Stay on the pavement and away and out of my way. Pay attention that I don't, and make sure I don't crush you. I'm a crazy driver with a nervous car. Can you have a nervous car? Car can't be nervous. You can be a nervous driver. Zeb then said, I think I'll be safe. I usually take countryside paths and avoid main roads on my way to learning. Yes, saunter on your way to improving your English. Riza said hi. And then, is there anybody to talk with me? So, Rizza, you'd say, hi, is anybody there who wants to chat? Is there anybody here to talk with me? Either would be okay. I replied, hi Rizza, I think I was in Google Plus chatting with April et al. When you posted this yesterday. Yeah, sometimes look at the calendar, you'll find where I am, and I am talking to people, but I'm using my voice because I like to talk. I'm not so keen on typing. I do a lot of typing when I'm working, so I don't need any more when I'm doing this. That's why I don't do text corrections for live chat. I do them on the lessons, but for live chat you have to listen, and I can talk and talk and talk. You might have noticed that. Mohammed said, hi, how are you? And Zeb said, hi Mohammed, I'm fine and ready for a good night's sleep. Okay, what we'd say there is a good night's sleep, and nights with apostrophe S. Don't ask me why, we just do. Because it's your sleep really, but we call it a good night's sleep. Manoj popped in and said, hi, how are you guys? So Manoj, Mohammed, first of all, capital H for how. Manoj, hi, capital H, and then new sentence, so capital H for how. Are you guys? Question mark. And I wrote, hi Manoj, we are all fine, I think. How are you? And Manoj then replied in another conversation. So Manoj, if you're going to carry on, click on reply. It's just underneath each post, and it makes it a lot easier to follow your train of thought. And Manoj wrote, yes, fine in here. Now, Manoj, yes, with a capital Y, and in here, to hear is I can hear my own voice when I listen to this recording, and that's HEAR. But here, where I am sitting on my chair at my desk, it's HERE. And so I wrote, yay, I love it when I can post a homophone link, and I sent you to the here versus here page. Not sure if you read it, but hey, that's up to you. Then I wrote, just a quick heads up. Oh yeah, that was just okay. And that was me apologising because I wasn't able to be in Kitely on Thursday evening because I was at a gig. Okay. Oh, what the heck, I'll read it out. Come on then. Just a quick heads up. I won't be able to run the Kitely session tomorrow, sorry. I thought the gig I was going to was on Friday, but it's on Thursday. I do hope I'll be able to get up Friday AM for the 8 o'clock session. Feel free to log into Kitely anyway to have a chat. Maybe contact each other first to arrange it. And Aladdin replied and said, don't worry, I hope you'll be fine. God bless you. Oh, bless you. By the way, BTW, by the way, what does the gig mean? So what you'd say there is, what does gig mean? A little confused here. They're mentioned to gigabyte. Okay. A little confused here. I could only find gigabyte. And then Aladdin said, gig means live performance or gigabyte or job. That's quite right, yeah. And you get the I looked it up myself badge, Aladdin, on the forum. I'm going to find I know how to use a dictionary badge. because that's the way to do it. I've even started a hashtag look it up. So, Zeb went gig for gigabyte? You must be kidding. I think the short form is GB or GB, isn't it? G, capital G, small b, or capital G, capital B. Actually, capital G, capital B is, for me, if I see that, I think Great Britain. Gig for job? I've never heard of it. It remains gig for live performance. Gig for live performance remains. I think it means that Lynn is going to see and listen to a band tonight. As it is a gig and not a concert, there may be nowhere to seat. Okay, there may be nowhere to sit. Or there may be no seating. There actually was. This was at Zoom in Frankfurt, and they have chairs, but you have to get one. They're all around the outside near the bar. Or you can go into the pit, the mosh pit, and I went into the mosh pit, and then I didn't leave because people were moshing. They weren't. They're very polite in Germany. I left there because people were talking. Why do people go to a gig to talk? Go to Starbucks, okay? There were at least 9 of you, and you were really, really annoying. Why pay to listen to a band only to listen to yourself shouting into each other's ears? You mad people, you. Okay, that's my moan for the day over. Aladdin then said, "Indeed I am." Oh, okay. Okay, you must be kidding. So I think you were replying to that bit. You must be kidding. Indeed I am. And Zeb went, "Hee hee, you were mucking and horsing around, and I took you seriously. Poor me." You enjoyed it. Then Ogujan said, "Hey, how are you?" So hey, not the right thing to say. Hey is more a warning. Hey, watch out. There's a car coming. It's going to run you over, Zeb. Oh, it's a Bugatti. I said, "Hi, Ogujan. I'm fine, thanks. How are you?" And Oana kindly said, "Welcome, Ogujan. I'm very happy you joined us." You only joined us for a very short time, though, didn't you, Oana? Raphael then popped in and said, "Hello, I would like to improve my speaking skills. Is there anyone to help me? I'm from Portugal." Very good, Raphael. Yeah, excellent bit of writing. Oana said, "Hello, Raphael. There is many people and we try to help each other." So there are many people and we try to help each other. People is plural, so there always are people. Be welcome. And Alba came in and said, "Hi everybody, I want to improve my English. I'm Spanish girl." So Alba, you'd say hi with a capital H, I with a capital I, English with a capital E, and then full stop. So hi everybody, I want to improve my English. And then I with a capital I, I'm a Spanish girl, and Spanish with a capital S, full stop. Don't forget, always end your sentences and your questions with a bit of punctuation, whatever's appropriate. Oana then went, "Hi Alba! Welcome to the network!" Okay, that's how I read it when you put a exclamation mark after everything, Oana. Just use them for effect, not as normal punctuation. That would be fine with just a full stop. "Hi Alba, welcome to the network." Okay. Carolina Hatter then came along and said, "Hi, is there anybody here?" And Oana said, "Hi Carolina, or Carolina. I'm Oana. Nice to meet you and welcome." And Zora Khan came and said, "Hi teacher, my name is Zora Khan. I want to learn tenses and English conversation." Okay, so Zora, hi with a capital H, teacher, no dots in the middle. "Hi teacher, comma. My with a capital M, my name is Zora Khan, and Zora Khan should be capitalized because it's your name. So Z, capital Z, capital K, then a full stop. Just the one, okay? Then I, capital I, want to learn about the tenses and English with a capital E conversation, full stop. I wrote, "Hi Zora, don't get tense about learning the tenses. They are simply part of the language." Yeah? These tenses, you can learn the rules, of course you can, but you can't apply them when you're having a conversation. You just have to have a feeling for them. You have to know them, and that only way to do that is by having natural conversations with people and writing and getting feedback. Feedback is so important, and with the ability to talk to people on the internet, feedback is becoming more important. So find people who'll give you constructive feedback. I wouldn't go to YouTube for that. But in forums, Learning English forums, Google Plus Hangouts with native speakers who are kind and understanding with beginners especially, then you should get some feedback, okay? Diogo Elias Santos came along. That's a lovely name, Diogo, and said, "Hello guys, I'm Brazilian student. I would like to meet people and to practice the language, okay." So, hello guys would be a capital H and then a comma. I'm, with a capital I, a Brazilian, capital B for Brazilian, student, full stop. I, capital I, would like to meet people and to practice my English, I presume. Okay, so the language, this language maybe because you're in an English live chat, but I'd just say I'd like to practice my English. And Zeb said, "Hi Diogo, we are all doing it here, practicing English." And Science went, "Hi Diogo, what is your major? Speciality?" Yeah, you can say what is your major. People kind of understand that. Or you could just simply say, "What are you studying?" And Owana said, "Hi Diogo, welcome." Then Ihor came in and controversially said, "Hi, who is from Europe?" Okay, so capital H, Ihor, for hi, and then capital W for who, because it's a sentence, it's a question, it's the beginning of the question. Always the first letter in a sentence or question should be capitalized. Who is from Europe? And Europe with a capital E as a continent, it gets its own capital letter. And I replied, "Hi, Ihor. Ihor. Do you mean geographical Europe or political Europe?" So by Europe, do you mean looking at a map and seeing which countries belong to the European Union, or do you mean Europe and looking in the map and going, "Oh, Turkey's part of Europe and parts of Russia are part of Europe," and ooh, don't tell Putin I said that, but it's true. Geographical Europe is very large. I guess either way, I said, "I'm from Europe. What about you?" And Zeb went, "What's the catch if I say that I'm from Europe?" I like it. I hadn't thought there might be a catch, Zeb. Harshad came along and said, "Hi, anybody is there?" In fact, wrote, "Any booty is there." So I replied, "Did you mean anybody or anybody's?" So buddy would be B-U-D-D-Y. Anybody would be one word, A-N-Y-B-O-D-Y. And then Zeb went, big alert, warning, and it was, "Watch out next time you buy bananas," from News Roundup 71 on the LEN magazine. I'm sorry that it took you an hour to record News Roundup 71, Amatsu. I hope you'll not give up on recording them. I hope she doesn't too, but she was very busy this week, so we might have to wait. Spider alert in the Daily Express. It would seem that the number of people put in hospital by poisonous spiders has risen by 25% in the past year. Recently, a London family fled their home after finding Brazilian wandering spiders, the most deadly in the world, in a bunch of bananas bought in a supermarket. The false widow and its relatives are also being found in the UK in increasing numbers, which means they are coming into closer contact with humans, leading to a marked rise in the number of people needing emergency treatment and surgery after being bitten. Yeah, it's true, guys. Poisonous spiders in England. The Australians must be killing themselves laughing. I then wrote, "Have you read the banana and cheese recipe April posted on the new forum?" Ew. Sorry about that, Zeb. Talk about going off topic. It was just talking about bananas. That's how my mind works. Made a link to something else. Zeb wrote, "Banana and cheese together. That is a weird idea. It reminds me of my cousins when they decided to cook chocolate spaghetti. The cooking was fun, but none of us finished our plates except Lionel, who got this brilliant idea." Okay, who had this brilliant idea, I'd say there. And I wrote, "Ew, is he the one who liked Marmite?" And Zeb replied, "No, Gilles liked the Marmite. Lionel became a cook after cooking chocolate spaghetti." Wow. Is he one of those sort of nouveau cuisine cooks that does really weird stuff, like Heston Blumenthal, yeah? Snail porridge. Look it up on the internet. Heston Blumenthal, one of our very out there chefs. So did he become a cook or a chef, Zeb? Not sure. A cook working in a kitchens in a school or some kind of industrial complex or on a boat would be a cook. A chef working in a restaurant, high end, paid a heck of a lot more than a cook. Anyway, Alwind, sticking to the topic, well done Alwyn, said, "Bananas are very dangerous. Next time into the supermarket I'll put all my warning." Okay, so I think next time I'm in a supermarket I'll put out a warning, is what you wanted to say, Alwind. And I, capital, even in the middle of a sentence, when you're talking about yourself, personal pronoun I, it's always capital. I'll put out a warning. Zeb then said, when you say that you are on full alert, does it mean that you're going to avoid fruit aisles in the supermarket? Zeb. Alwyn then said, absolutely, I always avoid aisles fruit in the supermarket. Okay, I'd say I always avoid aisles full of fruit in the supermarket, or I always avoid the fruit aisles in the supermarket. Or the fruit section, because quite often there's more than one aisle, and there's a whole section in the supermarkets. Zeb then said, where do you get your fruits and vegetables? Okay, I'd say, where do you get your fruit and vegetables? Fruit is usually uncountable unless you're talking about specific different types of fruit. Okay. BTW, by the way, I'm listening to Passenger, Flight of the Crow. I like it, thanks. Arwind replied, my mother-in-law is work in a market where there's only fruits and vegetables. She carry me home all I need. Okay, so my mother-in-law works at a market where there's only fruit and vegetables. Full stop. She brings me all I need. Capital I for I. I'm very happy if you like that song. Okay, I'm very happy that you like that song. Very good. Now I'm listening a new music band of Monster and Man. Do you know them? So now I'm, with a capital I, listening to a new music band of Monster and Man. And as it's the name of a band, it would usually be capitalized, okay? Do you know them, or have you heard of them, you could say. Monster of Men is for me the title of a book. I don't know the band. Ah, okay. Zeb, replying to her own thread about the spiders again, said, this doesn't even scare me. I don't think any spider wants to make a human being part of its diet. And Awana went, you're very good, Zeb. How could be the world without people like you, like Lynn, like everyone with the sense of humour? I don't want to know. Okay, so what you wanted to say, I think, Awana, is what would the world be like without people like you, like Lynn, like everyone with a sense of humour? I don't want to know. Very good. Horror, Awana, said Zeb. Suddenly I have an image of a world full of clones of myself. It is unbearable. I'd like a clone, just the one. Oana then said, I can only say that since I got you all here, my life has became more beautiful. See how my brain corrected it? So what you wanted to say is, I can only say that since I met you all here, because if you say I got you all here, it's like you brought us here, which you kind of do by posting, but you met us here first before you got us to come back. So since I met you all here, my life has become more beautiful. I say so, BECOME. I'm sure that I'm not the only one who can say that. I have to say a big thank you all. So I have to say a big thank you to you all. Wow, Oana, said Zeb. It's great to hear. I wouldn't say it's great to hear. I'd say that's great to hear. What you just said, that. Yeah, that's great to hear. I think that Lynn has a great talent to create places where people can meet in a fun and friendly way. I try, Zeb. I don't know if it's a talent. I think it's because I don't throw many parties in Germany, which I used to do in the UK, and so I like throwing virtual parties. Germans don't do partying, okay. Well, not the kind of parties I like anyway. It's all very formal. You have to invite people and have a starting time, and then they turn up at that time. It's very weird. So I don't do it very often. So, what I think you wanted to say, I think that Lynn has a great talent creating places where people can meet in a fun and friendly way. Okay. Alwyn then said, oh gosh, this is getting embarrassing. Absolutely, Lynn has a great talent and patience with all people who turn around the LEO network. Turn around. Hang around, I think you meant. Hang around. To hang around. Like, you hang around in the park with your mates drinking cider. That was my youth, by the way. So, or you hang around the network, which is absolutely fine. Try not to lurk, though. Okay, if you're a lurker, if you're listening to this and you've never written anything, if you've never come to a session and said anything, that's a bit lurkery. And that hanging around is more becoming involved too, having a conversation, typing something, saying something. So don't just lurk. Yeah, you can hang around for a bit, get to know us, and then jump in and just say hello. come back and say hello again when people have replied to you, and then you'll find you're not just hanging around, you're taking part. Okay. Oana said, indeed, she has this talent. She's a great person. Oh, you don't really know me, guys. I might be really horrible, really. I might be mean and nasty. I try not to be, but I might be. Yeah, never take on face value what you read on the internet. Don't judge people by what you see on. We present a persona on the internet, and it's not always the persona that's behind the screen. Okay, so. I am. I'm lovely, actually. But never forget that cartoon with the cat on the internet talking to the dog on the internet. Yeah, it's like they didn't know that one was a cat and one was a dog. Okay, so I wish you all a wonderful week, whatever you have to do. Hey, do you have to do anything really? Free will and all that. I know we have to earn money so that we can eat, but how we earn that money, I think we have more freedom than we actually think sometimes. And that was it for the week. Wow, I managed to finish one. No need to come back and do a second one. Not that I mind, but Leica will be happy. Less time me talking at the computer. JIT, just in time. So, thank you everybody so much. You are great. You should be very proud of yourselves for going on to the live chat and just chatting about anything and everything. Special thanks to Zeb, who comes up with some great topics, and to Science, who I think is entertaining Zeb. So and hopefully, well, we'll chat in other sessions as well, and see you next week on live chat. In the meantime, don't forget to go out there and practice your English, and be nice and be kind, have some fun, and if you can't be good, don't get caught. Bye.